Hey y'all, my beautiful survivors and thrivers. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being so patient with me as I get these videos out to you all. You may notice that my background has changed a little bit, look a little bit like a command center. I started a new job in my field and it's been really demanding, but I'm back. We're about to get these videos out because we are continuing our journey of thriving through our grief as always. So make sure you go ahead and follow me at the Motherless Millennial on Instagram. And let's get into this new video. Man, if I'm honest, my now husband, was and is a huge part of my grief journey and helping me to thrive. I don't know what I would have done without him sometimes when I look back. So grateful to have him now. So shout out to you, babe. And you may remember me mentioning him in this video where I talk about getting stuck in the anger phase of grief and how to get through that and some of my examples of how I was stuck in anger for a long time. And I mentioned how I wasn't always the warmest towards him in the beginning just because he met me in a really rough part of my grief journey. So if you haven't watched that video, you should because it's great. So, and you may have guessed it, this week we're talking about having a significant other and dealing with love as you grieve and grow through your trauma when it comes to losing your parents. And I'll share 3 tips that I have for approaching those 2 things. And of course, I'll use some examples from my own relationship because I'm not only here to talk about what I know, but obviously to also share what I've lived. So this will be a really quick rapid fire video about something so important that a lot of people deal with on a daily and usually want and wish for, which is to have that person. And a lot of the time, our grief can sort of hinder that sort of path that we want. So you should watch to the end because it's going to be really short, so pay attention. So my first tip, which is a big umbrella tip that you need to start with, is don't cut yourself off from love or finding a significant other. Especially in the beginning, everything's really raw and fresh. And even sometimes when things get prolonged with our grief journey, we sort of cut ourselves off and we automatically remove ourselves from being able to find love or find a significant other. Don't do that. Don't cut yourself off. When Elon and I first got together, I broke up with him within a week of us being together. And he tells the story to everybody. But after that, we never broke up again. But one of the big reasons why I broke up with him, really the reason why I broke up with him, was because I was like, I'm just too much for somebody right now. I don't want to hurt anybody. I can't commit to anybody right now. Basically saying that, my grief was putting me in a place where I couldn't love anybody or nobody could handle all of this grief and all of this trauma. Nobody's strong enough to deal with what I got. And I don't want to put him through that. So I don't want nobody to have to deal with me in this state. And that was my first mistake because I automatically wrote myself off. I cut myself off from love. Thankfully, my man was very persistent and kept telling me that he wanted to be there for me. He could handle it. I just had to give him a chance. How did I know when I didn't even give him a chance to be able to handle it, to be able to be there for me? So do not cut yourself off because 8 years later, we married and he is beautiful, wonderful part of my journey to thrive. Tip number 2, and this is very, very important one. When you do find somebody, or if it's early in your grief journey and you are with somebody, that person should be bringing peace, not chaos, to your life. This is a really important one. Well, they're all important, but this one's really important. We are already dealing with so much pain and depression and anger, and we feel like our lives have been blown up. So whoever is wanting to be with you or that you're giving somebody a chance in those early stages, if they are bringing you more pain, anger, and chaos than peace and joy and level-headedness, it's a wrap. Don't even do it, okay? Don't put yourself in a place where it's gonna block your ability to thrive because you're now being flooded with more chaos because of this person who's in your life. Like, you better off dealing with your grief journey on your own until you find somebody who is bringing peace, not chaos. And for me, especially in my early times and even within 4 or 5 years, I was moving around from place to place and I was really trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for money, and I was really feeling like I had lost a huge support system, and I did. And Elon, in his own way, really helped fill those voids. He made sure, when I needed it, I had somewhere to lay my head. He helped if I needed to get home from school and I didn't have a way to get home for the holidays. He would come in and help there. Whenever I felt like I wasn't able to do something, he always encouraged me. He was always bringing positive energy and peace into my life. And it got to a point that really did it for me to know that I could trust this man. I could trust this person in my fragile state. So look for those characteristics. It's important. And my third tip, and this is more for you, if you do get a person and you didn't cut yourself off, so we did step 1. They bring in more peace than chaos. We did step 2. So they've been there. Make sure you check yourself and how you're dealing with your grief or anger or depression, and that you're not misplacing those feelings on this person who's trying to be there for you. A couple years into my relationship with Elon, I had to check myself on some of the actions that I was doing, some of the ways I was acting towards him. So a sort of decent example, I suppose, was I didn't really like to cuddle. And I don't consider myself a super affectionate person, but I'm not a cold person either. And so I would really sort of keep that part of myself away from him. When he wanted to cuddle, when he wanted to hold hands, I'd be like, ugh. Not that I didn't love him or didn't want to be with him, but I just didn't feel, I feel like, I don't know, grief had really just taken a big chunk of that part of myself away. But then I had to realize that, that was one of his love languages. And that's a whole nother thing. You should Google it. That was one of his love languages. And it wasn't fair to him for me to, keep him from getting what he needed to feel love from me, just because I was too wrapped up in my grief to not, be affectionate. It wouldn't kill me to do that. And, got to a point where, I liked that. I liked that he knew that he was loved. So I had to check myself. And there's a whole other slew of examples, but like I said, it's rapid fire. So always check yourself too. Okay, let's recap. 1, do not automatically cut yourself off, write yourself off from love or finding a significant other because you think you're too sad and dark and broken and nobody's out there can handle that. There is somebody out there who wants to be there for you. 2, when you do find someone, make sure that they are bringing more peace, love, level-headedness, all of that to your life rather than chaos and stress and anger. Okay, if they are doing the latter, cut them off. If you've let somebody in your life and you've shared this really fragile, really sacred part of yourself with them, and they're not doing the former peace, love, joy, etc., let it go. Thirdly, when you do find someone who is doing the former peace, love, joy, etc., check yourself, because grief can wrap us in this ball of sadness and darkness and anger and all of these things. And we don't want to misplace those feelings on somebody who is trying to be there for us. We don't want to miss out on something good because we didn't check ourselves. So you reached the end of my rapid fire finding love significant other video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this video as well as this video. So go ahead and head over to my channel after this and watch them, of course. And please do follow me at The Motherless Millennial on Instagram to keep up with me and get all the other good stuff that I put out. And obviously, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a video, and I can always be here for you. Like this video, share it so that I can find somebody who needs it. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Bye.